This is an artificial reef on the floor of the Gulf of Mexico. Here, the ocean will turn this rusty metal into a booming ecosystem. An empty sea bottom transformed into a dense underwater jungle of life. A few miles off the Texas Gulf Coast, a research expedition is about to begin.
We have more shots if you put my booties on than anything else, I think.
Brooke Shipley is chief scientist of the Artificial Reef Program for the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. Chris Ledford is the diving safety officer.
I mean, it was so funny.
They're part of a team, spending the next 4 days on board the MV Fling, pursuing their life's mission and chasing their life's passion. The Gulf of Mexico has very few naturally occurring reefs. So artificial ones like oil platforms, reef balls, and decommissioned ships give barnacles, coral, and other invertebrate sea life the hard surfaces they need to survive. Energy then flows up the food chain, providing habitat and sustenance for snapper, grouper, and countless other species. Every so often, the underwater inhabitants here get visitors from up top. Marine biologists like Brooke and Chris, who have come to count fish, collect data, and evaluate the overall health of their man-made ecosystem.
The monitoring program is essential to the entire artificial reef program because if we don't monitor the reef structures, then how will we know whether the fish are there, whether it's a good structure?
Both Brooke and Chris help manage an artificial reef program that covers 4,000 acres across nearly 70 sites.
I was introduced to scuba by my dad, who was a diver in the military. It's very much a part of who I am. I love just playing around down there, which is kind of hard to do when I'm on a work dive, but we always make some time for that.
Hi, 110 for 40. Yeah, that was a good dive. Better than Kevin. Red.
Can I see the jellyfish shots?
Yeah, I do, because he was a really cool jellyfish. Oh, that's a great shot. It's got the 4 half circles in the top.
Yeah.
I think that's the Ariella.
Did you get a picture of that shark?
Maybe.
is difficult sometimes. It is a lot of fun. You know, my job is scuba diving. I get to come out, I get to see great fish, I get to go home, you know, and take these pictures to my parents and my family and go, look what I did this week.
Barney, what's for dinner?
I'm gonna have hog jowl, cream corn, Boston grits.
I have been on work ships where I have been gone for 3 to 4 weeks at a time. It's a wonderful thing, but it's also hard. You wake up at 5 in the morning, you don't go to bed until 10, 11 at night. But it is also so amazing because every day you wake up and you're standing in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. All you hear is the water sloshing against the sound of the boat. I mean, I sleep better on a boat than I sleep at home. It's crazy. What I'm working on is the database that contains all of the data that we have collected from 1993 through 2011. One of the things that I'm hoping to do eventually is be able to take all of that and run a spatial implication model using fuzzy logic, which is what my PhD was, to then determine if we're putting reefs too closely together. When you're a kid and people ask you, what do you want to do with your life? I wanted to be a ballerina or a veterinarian or a scuba diver. And as it turns out, in the weird way that life works, I actually have a career where scuba diving is a large portion of it. So it's uncanny to me that at 5 or 6 or whatever age I was then, I actually knew what I was going to be now.
I was probably primarily influenced with diving through 2 sources. My dad was a scuba diver, but also a big deal was the old Jacques Cousteau reruns. I always knew from the get-go that that's what I wanted to do. I used to actually get dressed up in my favorite scuba diving outfit, which was probably my pajamas and a pair of socks that were loosely pulled up around my feet so they flapped around like flippers. And I'd slide around on my belly pretending I was diving and being Jacques Cousteau's dive buddy. So it pretty much started at that point and went downhill from there pretty much.
When I'm at sea and once I'm in the water, it is the most serene and perfect place that you can be. You're there and you're weightless in this amazing blue world where things swim within inches of your face, and it's just perfection. I probably feel closer to, the God and on all the spiritual aspects when I'm at sea in the water than I do even in a church. It's just you and God's creations in perfection.